I interrupted a murder and didn't know it until the next day. Back in the 90s, my friend and I had been out one night to judge a pageant. On the way home, we decided to stop by a liquor store and get something to drink when we got back to her house. We had babysitters, so it was also like a mom break. Well, she couldn't wait and added some to her slushie, so we decided to take the back roads home. I was not drinking. It was a very rural area. Houses were miles apart and a lot of farmland, but an area she had grew up around and was familiar with. My car at the time was literally 2 to 3 months old. Never had an issue with it. As we were going down a certain road, the feeling was just eerie, pitch black. Something was off. And as we're talking about it, I ask, "Are you sure this is the right way?" She assures me it is, so I turn the music back up and off we go. Then I get a feeling again, but this time I tell her, "I don't like this, let's turn around." So we're looking for a place to turn around and could see a bridge up ahead. She said people fish beside it, there's a place I can turn around there. And as soon as she says this, my car shuts completely off. Lights, music, everything about it. You could not see anything. I'm trying to restart it and can't even get a sound from that. This goes on for 3 to 5 minutes, and we're freaking out. Cell service was out, and back then you didn't have flashlights on them, so it was darkness. Then, as soon as it stopped, it came back on. When it did, the headlights came on and we could see beer cans lined up in the middle of the road in front of us. And they were not there before. We were like, what the hell? And I threw it in reverse and drove backwards until I could turn around. We were both scared, asking how it happened, how did the cans get there, but we couldn't come up with anything. The next day, I took my car to the dealership and told them about it shutting down. They ran a test on it, but couldn't find anything wrong. A few days later, she called me and asked if I had seen the paper yet. I said no. She said, "Go get it, and look at the picture on the front page." That's where we were at. I went immediately and got one. The night my car died at the bridge, a man had been out drinking with his friends. And somehow it came out that this man was having an affair with his friend's wife. They had parked where people went fishing down under the bridge, which is why we couldn't see the truck. And he was beating this man to death. At some point the man got away and made it up to the bridge. Then the other man shot him and threw him over the bridge into the water. The next day, a fisherman found the body. The man confessed, adding that a car was coming and parked by the bridge, and during that time is when he escaped, and he was fighting to keep him on the bank. If the man would have made it up, more than likely we would have been shot as well. Never figured out what/why my car shut down. I like to think divine intervention. Never figured out how the beer cans appeared either. The man in my attic. So I, 24 male, have lived on my own for about 2 years now. I have a very small bungalow I'm able to pretty comfortably afford. In this bungalow, I have an attic area. At a guess, I'd say it's about 5 by 5 meters in size, and you can only really stand in there in the very center. Anyway, I work the night shift at a factory, so I usually get in around 8 a.m. I was coming home last Thursday during a heavy storm, and I got into the house and just went to sleep. When I woke up, I went on my phone and saw that I was so tired that I didn't check my notifications. I have a Ring camera outside my door, which shows me anyone who would have come to my room. I saw that it had been tripped at 7:42 a.m. I got into the house around 8:10, 8:15 a.m. I checked the video and saw that it was a man. He was pressed right up to the door and was fumbling around with the handle. He did this for about 10 seconds until he spotted the camera. Once he did, he very quickly scuttled away. This unsettled me but didn't entirely creep me out or anything. I got up to go make some food and discovered something in my kitchen. My back window was open. I, of course, instantly began having thoughts of a home intruder, but slowly chilled out as I convinced myself I had left it open. The rest of the day consisted of this, just noticing small things that didn't seem right, and scaring myself. All up until a point. I leave for the shift at 10 p.m., and I was watching some TV at 9 o'clock-ish. I spotted something that made my heart leap into my throat. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see it. My attic entrance was slowly being slid open. I can so vividly remember that I began questioning my sanity. Surely I was just hallucinating or something. I looked over at it and absolutely saw something that made me so much more scared. I saw fingers wrap around the hatch and begin moving it more. I didn't know what to do. I could feel the panic beginning to really get to me, and I wasn't sure if I should leave the house and call the police, or if I should try and yell at whoever was up there. I chose a mixture of both. I began dialing 999 and ran to my bedroom where I could lock the door. As soon as I began running, I heard the hatch get almost tore off with the speed they moved it, and I arrived at my bedroom door. I looked down the corridor and watched for a second, seeing only a little slice of the blackness up in my attic, and I saw the human hand still holding on to the sides of my ceiling. I yelled, "Whoever is there, I am calling the police, and I have a gun. If you take a step out of there, I will shoot you." The adrenaline was really making my hands and voice shake, but I tried sounding as tough as I could. Then I saw something that I truly do not think that I will ever forget. The hands slipped back into the dark, and then he dropped down. I slammed my door shut and locked it as quickly as I could. The call went through and I was able to get on a line with the police, and they dispatched officers to my house. I told them I didn't know if the man was armed or not, and the dispatcher told me to stay on the line. I heard the man walking up to my door and rattling the door handle. He also seemingly went through my cupboards and my kitchen, as I heard a lot of commotion there. Truth be told, I don't know why he stayed. I would have just left the house. But he stayed right up until the police came in and arrested him. Apparently he was a homeless man and was armed with a knife from my kitchen, and had recently been seen in the area trying to get into other houses. Truth be told, I'm very frightened to sleep still. I now sleep with my bedroom door locked and all my windows closed. I also sleep with a knife under my pillow. I know that it is unlikely to ever happen again, but I just cannot forget the way he dropped down from my attic. Oh no, Joe. Not again, Joe. Song of a Pedophile. This happened when my sister and I were around 6 and 8. We are now 43 and 45. It is something that still haunts us occasionally. We had an amazing municipal swimming pool in our neighborhood. South African summers in Johannesburg are hot and long. The swimming pool was the ultimate destination. Joe was that adult that was always at the pool. He would swim links, practice diving, and tickle our feet under the water. Just typing this makes me feel nauseous. To this day, I still have issues with my feet being wet. Specifically, I'm unable to leave cream on my feet. The sliminess makes me feel claustrophobic. I only realized the connection last year. Whenever we would sit on the edge of the pool with our feet hanging in, he would swim past all of us and tickle all of our feet in a row. I can't remember all the details 100%, but someone playfully screamed, "Oh no, Joe," and Joe did it again and sang, "Oh no, Joe, not again, Joe." We all laughed, as kids do. Then he tickled our feet again and made us sing his new song, "Oh no, Joe, not again, Joe." It became a game. He would grab us under the water and we would sing. It went from feet tickling to chasing us and grabbing our waists under the water. "Oh no, Joe, not again, Joe." That song never goes away. One day at the pool, Joe tells us he has this amazing farm just out of town. He would like to take us to see his animals, his corn, and his own swimming pool. It sounded like heaven to all of us. He was talking to several children, boys and girls. He told us to be at the swimming pool on Saturday, but not to tell our parents. We will go in his car. As soon as we get home, we tell our dad everything. We are so excited. This farm sounds amazing. Our dad says, "Absolutely not. Who is Joe anyway?" We tell him that Joe is our friend at the pool and plays with our feet and chases us around the pool. My dad says that actually maybe we can go, but he wants to meet Joe first. The next day we go to the pool and we tell Joe we can go with him, but our dad wants to meet him first. Joe is upset that we told our dad, but we tell him not to worry. Our dad is cool. So Joe walks home with us. We only lived about 5 blocks from the pool, and comes to meet our dad. Joe is about 5'6". My dad is 6'7", just over 2 meters. The personification of a gentle giant. My dad is super polite to Joe. He asks him loads of questions about the farm, where it is exactly, how many kids are going, has he spoken to the other parents. Joe was as cool as a cucumber. He answered the questions smoothly and confidently. My dad ended by saying, "Joe, I look forward to seeing you on Saturday at your farm. I think we will have a great time. I will bring my girls though, and we will meet you there." The next part is a bit of a blur for me. I am not sure how we ended up driving in convoy with about 3 other dads and their kids from the pool. It was so exciting. My dad had the map book, leading the convoy to the best farm in the world. We drove about an hour out of the town, and we arrive at the derelict farmhouse. No animals, no corn, no swimming pool, just this rundown, isolated, scary-looking farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. I remember being really confused. My dad must have read the map book wrong. All the dads huddled together. We have no idea what they are saying, but they are angry. We are also angry. We are obviously lost, and it's the dad's fault. Everyone gets in their cars, and I start screaming at my dad about how he deliberately got us lost because he doesn't like Joe, and he didn't want us to have fun. My dad is silent and pensive. After my tantrum, he says to my sister and I in a very calm, deep voice, "Joe is a bad man. He was going to hurt all of you. He is the bad man your mom is always warning you about." My mother is obsessed with true crime. There is no farm. I am so happy you girls told me what was going on, because something bad could have happened to you. His strong voice broke in those last words. The gravity of his tone and the break in his voice made my sister and I realize that he was right, and we were in danger. We cried and apologized. He made us promise to tell him if we saw Joe again. Joe stayed away from the pool for about a month. As soon as we saw him come through the gate, we quickly got dressed and ran home. When my dad came home from golf, we told him Joe was at the pool again. The next day, we went to the pool with our dad. We were swimming, and my dad was sitting on one of the benches to the side. In walks Joe. He comes to the edge of the pool and is calling us. We refuse to go to the edge. He is getting frustrated. My dad gets up and comes up to Joe. Quote, "Hey buddy, can I chat to you outside quickly?" Joe physically shrunk. My dad had his hands on Joe's shoulder and was guiding him out of the pool. I can only imagine what my dad did and said to Joe. My dad is a gentleman, but don't mess with his girls. Joe was never seen again at our swimming pool.